All right, decision-making students, welcome to the midterm review. I have no idea how many videos this is going to take, so we'll just call this video number 1. And let me encourage you to stop for each question just so you can attempt it yourself, and then you can check off of me. So we're starting question number 1. So if you want to do it by yourself, go ahead and pause the video. All right. You can fit 20 people in a 5 by 5 square. Doing this ratio, how many people can fit in a 500 times 5 or 500 by 500 foot square? All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to find area. So we got to find the area of a 5 by 5, and that is 25 square feet. All right, and the 500 by 500 should be 25 with 4 zeros. All right, so I believe that is correct. And of course, I always got to check. And that is correct. Awesome. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to create a proportion, okay? You're going to take the 20 people that can fit in the room and you're going to compare it to the 25 square feet. So 20 over 25 is equal to, we're looking for how many people, so we're just going to call that x, and we're going to make a connection with this, is equal to x over 250,000. We're going to cross multiply, and when we do, we get 25x is equal to a very big number. Let's see, that's was that 5 million? So when we divide that by 25 to solve for x, we get a grand total. I got to write it over here. X is equal to, looks like 200,000. Yep, 200,000. So how many people can fit in that? 200,000 can. Let's move on. All right, next question. Using a 5 by 5 foot square to estimate a crowd. Same question, but now we're solving in terms of E. Now the difference between this question and the question above it is that this question here gave us an exact answer. Here we're going to estimate by using E. So we're still dealing with the 5 by 5 foot square, which is 25 square feet. But now rather than putting 20 over 25, because 20 represents the number of people, we're going to say E over 25. And E represents our estimation. So like for example, I could put 20 people in a square, a 25 foot square, but someone else could maybe only put 16, so their estimate's going to be a little off. So rather than just dealing with all the different types of differences, we just say, hey, E. So that's going to be E over 25 is equal to X over 5 million. We cross multiply. Let's see, that's not 5 million. That's 5 million. All right, so we cross multiply. We get 25x is equal to, wow, I said 5 million. So you're probably screaming at the screen. That's what it should have been. 250,000. When we cross E, after we cross multiply, so when we solve, we get x is equal to 10,000 E. And what that means is E stands for how many people you can fit in a square. So like for example, if you could fit 30 people in a square, then you're going to take 30, plug it in for E to get your exact answer. Or maybe you could fit only 20 people. Exact answer. All right, moving on. All right, how many possible license plates are possible for 6 characters? And okay, so the first 3 characters are letters. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, followed by 2 numbers and another letter. All right, so this is a letter, this is a letter, this is a letter, this is a number or a digit number, and another letter. Well, very simply, how many letters are there in the alphabet? Well, there's 26. 26, 26, 26. Now, numbers, it goes from 0 to 9, which is a total of 10 options. And so that's how you figure it out. You multiply it all together and you get that number right there. Moving on. How many license plates are possible if all characters are numbers between 0 and 5? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now we have 0 through 5. So let's see, 0 through 5, that is a total of 6 numbers. So that means all of them can be 6 possible. So All these are going to be 6. We're going to multiply. And of course, what I mean by 6, it could be a 0, a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. That's a total of 6 options. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to the 6th power gives us this answer. 46,656. Moving on. Find the length and width of a newer 60-inch flat screen TV. Who has a okay? So here's our TV, which is right here. A diagonal. That's how we measure TVs. And of course, I'm not drawing this perfect, so I apologize. So there is my right triangle. This is 60 inches. An aspect ratio of 16:9. This will be 16x. This will be 9x. And we're going to apply Pythagorean theorem. 16x squared plus 9x squared is equal to 60 squared. The next step will look like this. And of course, we're going to combine like terms. When we combine like terms, we're going to, and I'm running out of room here, got to write it up here, sorry. That turns into 337x is equal to 3600 squared, sorry. 3600 divided by, you get 10.6. X is equal to 10, well, we'll just round 10.7 x squared, sorry. I'm going to square root it. X is equal to 3.3. All right, so x is equal to 3.3. I'm going to take my x, I'm going to plug it back into 9x and 16x to get my actual answer. So 3.3 times 9. We will say that the width is 29.7. I'm not really concerned about if you can properly identify length and width. So if you get these two switched over, it's fine. All right, so going back to the original square, if this is 52.8 inches, this is 29.7, what is the area? We just multiply length times width. We get 1,568. I rounded. There we go. Moving on. Find the aspect ratio of a rectangular table that measures 30 inches in length and 60 inches in width. I'm just going to say 30 dot dot or colon. I'm going to have a student that's not going to like that, but if I use dot dot. So I'm just going to round down. It's almost like a fraction. My answer is going to be 15 colon 31. Moving on. All right, here we go. Following for tire measurements. So the stuff that we need, the width of the tire, that's 205. The aspect ratio is 60%. All right, so let me draw my tire just so we can understand what I'm solving for. All right, here's my tire here. Of course, you guys know a tire. Hopefully, you've seen one before. This is my rim, and the outside is my actual tire itself. All right, so we have the width of the tire aspect ratio. The first thing we're going to do is find the width of one sidewall, which is this piece right here. And the way we do that is we're going to multiply 60% by or into 205. So 205 times 0.6. That gives me 123 millimeters. So 123 millimeters, but I'm going to convert that to inches. And because here, going back to the measurement, see this R16? That 16 means the rim length. So let me go ahead and just do this. So this is 16 inches, but the 123 is in millimeters, so we're going to have to convert, and the conversion chart for that is 25.4 millimeters to 1 inch. So I'm going to take 123 divided by 25.4. I get I'll just say 4.8 inches. So this is 4.8 inches. So let me take the 1, 2, 3 in my picture. 4.8. Now, if here is 4.8, this down here would also be 4.8. So the overall height of my tire is the two sidewalls with the rim added. So I get a grand total overall height of 25.6 inches. Now I'm going to figure out the circumference of the tire by applying pi to that, multiplying by pi. I get an answer of 80 inches. We'll just say 80.4 inches. And we're going to stop right there. That is part 1 of the video. Thank you for watching, and stand by for part 2.